Evening, folks. Brian here from the Brian Star Observatory. Friday, May 26, 2023 on our planet. I guess you're going to know, figure out where I'm going with this. Let's talk a little bit about the magnetic field strength and how weak it has to be before we have a geomagnetic reversal. And I will dispel the 40-degree nonsense con. So, folks, in order to have a polarity reversal to occur, the magnetic field must be decreased down by 90 to 95% before a flip can happen. So we have to be down to 5 to 10% field strength. It is generally assumed that we are already weak by 25%. Therefore, we have another 70% to go yet. Some education for you. It doesn't happen on a given month. Based on this. Both geomagnetic excursions and full reversals happen. That process takes thousands of years. The average is 7,000 years. Now, some hypothesize that it happens 10 times faster, therefore an average of 700 years. A very, very few, one particular guy, get in your hole, Al, say it could happen in a lifetime. It started its beeline excursion from Nunavut, Canada in 1903. Therefore, it's already been ongoing for 120 years. We've well surpassed a human lifetime. Let's start using some critical thinking. Before a geomagnetic reversal pole flip, during that time, for at least hundreds of years, there will be massive, massive amounts of cosmic radiation coming in from the sun, as well as GCR's galactic cosmic radiation, and massive doses of ultraviolet C radiation. There will be massive cancer cases. You would be burnt to a crisp from the ultraviolet radiation coming in. Our crops would be decimated, completely destroyed from the massive amounts of ultraviolet radiation. And I've been pointing out, we're slowly starting to see that now, yes. We're down by 25%, and you know what? That may be 30, 35% already. We have a long, long way to go before I'll get to this in a minute. Now, the assertion that there was going to be a pole flip last month, and the assertion that, well, it's going to happen next month. I'm glad to see many people are waking up to the con. Anyway, I'll explain this crude experiment. Hang on a minute. World Magnetic Model Field Intensity Map. Although it's dated 2020, this was actually done in 2019 when they found out that the geomagnetic excursion decided to pick up pace suddenly. We're never going to see the next updated version. This is supposed to be done every 5 years. we're not going to see the next one because indeed, yes, our protective magnetosphere is destabilizing and weakening rapidly. So this is the theory 40-degree mark, and I'll explain in a minute. Hey people, dipole's already way over here. So the crude experiment was based on a rotating magnet next to a compass. And when the needle reached around 40 degrees, the person stated, it then rapidly flipped. So many people who don't have any critical thinking have this visualization imprinted into their minion brains, thinking that, whoa, when those little yellow pins on a map reaches 40 degrees, that's it, pole flip right into the world. End of times. I'm going to give you an alternative hypothesis. Oh, hang on a minute. So this was done. I don't know. Let's say you're in England. Let's just say, and you put this on a map like this. Let's just say, right, which shows the field intensity map. Now, no one knows what they are right now. Okay. Right. And if you think the weakest field line is, I don't know, up here, right, and you put this on your little, let's say you're in a cheap little flat in England, right? Whatever, right? 40 degrees. I have another hypothesis. If this is planet Earth, and this is a much, much larger celestial body with a very strong electromagnetic influence in it circling around, and every 3,657 years, it makes a close orbital approach to our planet. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. The poles can't flip until we're down to 5 to 10% field strength. Most of you are going to be dead, fried, burnt to a crisp, catastrophic earthquakes. Not 1, not 2, not 10. Many volcanic eruptions going on. Our jet streams, as chaotic and weak as they are right now, will be decimated. There's not going to be a pole flip last month. It's not going to be a pole flip this month. There's not going to be a pole flip next month. You were built up in anticipation for years, and just before that pivotal moment, off on an airplane to Thailand, coming back. I want to develop a satellite for space, and I want to develop Star Trek technology, and you can have shares in my venture. You got to pay me money, fool. Instead, you're paying for some calm man in England to take a $20 CO2 detector in his living room and take measurements of CO2 in his living room, in his oxygen sensor in his living room. And he's never once showed you any equipment. (90 to 95% field strength drop before anything happens, and you're all going to be long dead before then.